Everyone, welcome back to the next video. In today's video I will show you how to create an Android plugin to show interstitial ad for your Godot game. So let's get started. So here you can see I have one button and as well as I have one text, and it's as well as a label. So inside the label, once a particular interstitial ad is loaded, I'm sending a signal from the Android plugin to the Godot side. Okay, the ad was loaded. So here you can see the ad was loaded, and only when the ad is loaded you can click on the click me button. So if I try to click on the click me button now, here you can see an interstitial ad has been popped up. Now if I try to dismiss the ad and if I try to press the click me button again, the ad won't load, because if you have played around with interstitial ad, they are only displayed one time, but you can refactor the logic to pop up that interstitial ad again and again in the same game or same app session. But if the user completely dismisses the app and opens the app again and tries to click on the click me button again, then the interstitial ad again will pop up. Okay, so it is possible to display multiple interstitial ad multiple times, even for the same app or the game session. But that is not the point of the video. In this video I want to keep it pretty simple. So let's get started. So if you haven't watched my first video on how to create a plugin step-by-step guide, so I would highly recommend you to watch that, because here I will be quickly going through all the steps. I won't do it myself manually, because I have already done all the steps. So first what you have to do is that you have to create a Android project. So from Android Studio, create an Android project. Could be a empty views project or a empty Jetpack Compose project, doesn't matter. Then once the project is created, you will have to go to your project, file, new, module, and here you have to select Android library. Give your library any name you want, give some package name. Okay, and click on finish. I have already created it, so I will just go to this Android drop down, and here you can see I'll close this is my library. So okay, next what you have to do is you will have to go to build.gradle.kts of your library, and here you will have to add this dependency. So currently at the time of this recording I'm using Godot 4.2.1, that's why I'm using this version. But in future, if it is higher, you should use that version, and you can find this version on Maven Central as well. Next okay, so as you can see I have added this Godot engine dependency to my Gradle file, and depending on what version of Godot you are using, you should change this version. Next, I also had to add this Google Play Services ad dependency for displaying interstitial ad for our app. Now I have written a cheat sheet for all the steps. You can refer the Godot documentation if you want to. So we have to create this class. So what you will have to do, go to your library, go to this package name and create this Godot Android plugin. So this is, I have just copy pasted this from docs. Here you should write your plugin name. Again, the plugin name is important and you should remember it, because we will be referencing this name multiple times. And here I have created an ad signal. So once an ad has been loaded, I'm sending the signal back to the Godot side, so that you can click on the click me button or however you want to display your interstitial ad. And here on Godot setup is completed. I'm initializing our Google Play ads thing. So this is the code for it. Then we have to request for an ad. Now this ad unit is a test ad unit. I will later on show you how to create a production ad unit as well, but for testing purposes you should be using test ad unit. If you try to test it with production ad unit and by mistake if you continuously click your own ads, then Google might, your AdMob account might get blocked, so be careful with that. So this is a testing ID which Google themselves has provided in the documentation of interstitial ad. So if you want, you can check that out as well. So here you can see once the ad has been loaded, I'm sending this signal back to the Godot side. And here if you want, you can have a full screen content callback as well, just to check whether the ad was clicked, ad was dismissed, ad failed to. So I'm just sending this signal back to the Godot side as well. And once the user clicks on a button, I am calling this method, and what it does is just call interstitial ad dot show. Okay, and if the ad wasn't ready, I'm just sending this message back as well. So this is done. Next what you have to do is go to android manifest.xml. Next, here first you have to add the internet permission. Next, again this has been copied from the Godot docs, so this should be your plugin name, whatever you have written, and this should be your Godot Android Android plugin class package name. So if you want, you can go over here. This is the package name followed by the class name. Okay, so which you can write over here, and this should be your plugin name. Next, you also have to add this metadata. Again, this is a test app unit id, test app id, sorry, and I will show you later on how to get the production as well. Again, for development purpose, you should use a test app id itself. Okay, so this is done. Next, what we have to do is, let's see. Okay, so go to your Android project, go to the project drop down, go to your library, then create a folder called export scripts template. Inside that, create a file called export_plugin.gd. Again, I have copy pasted everything from docs, but the two important thing is this should be your plugin name, whatever you have written. And here you also have to add this dependency. So this is missing from the documentation because we are adding this extra dependency in our build.gradle.kts, that's of displaying ads. That's why we have to add this over here as well. Okay, next, again we have to create this file. Again, I have copy pasted this from docs. This should be your plugin name, and you can change the description and author to whatever you want. Okay, so this is done, this is done, this is done as well. Okay, now what you will have to do is you will have to open your terminal. You will have to cd to your project, not to your library, cd to your project, and then run this command. Once you run of -gradle w assemble, you will have to go to your Android project, go to your library, go to build, outputs, AAR, and here you should see two AAR files that have been generated, one for debug and one for release. For me, I have already copied those files to my Godot project, that's why you are not able to see it over here. Once you do that, so next we have to create our Godot project. So here you can see I have created my Godot project, and here inside that you will have to create a folder called add-ons. Inside that, create a folder with your plugin name, so be careful over here. Inside that, create a folder called bin, and inside bin create two folders, debug and release. Now if you remember, we had created those two files, export plugin.gd and plugin.cfg. Copy these two files over inside your plugin folder. Okay, so outside the bin folder, inside plugin folder, and inside this debug and release, what you have to do is, so I'll just go over here, so to my Godot game, and here you can see I will go to add-ons, my interstitial plugin, bin, debug, and as you can see I have copied that AAR files which were generated from our Android library. So copy the debug one to the debug folder and the release one to the release folder, but make sure you change the name, so it should be like your plugin name -debug.ar. Similarly for release as well, your plugin name -release.ar. Okay, so once that is done, go to project settings, go to plugins, and you have to check this box. Next, you have to go to project, install Android build template. I have already done that. Next, go to export, click on the add button, add Android. Make sure you click on this use Gradle build checkbox, and also make sure you check this architecture. If you don't know what architecture your mobile app, your mobile is on, just check all four of this. And also here at the bottom you might be seeing a fix import button. Just click on it and it should resolve that error as well. Once that is done, if you see, I have just taken a Node 2D. Inside that I have taken a button as well as a label, and if you see the script, I am loading our plugin. So again, this should be your plugin name, and here you can see that I have taken this label reference, and inside on ready I am loading our plugin, and I have registered our ad signal as well. And as soon as our ad has been loaded, you will get it over inside our label text. So if you want, you can create a boolean variable as well, just to check whether the ad was loaded properly or not, and then only you allow this button to be pressed. So I will leave that up to you. And here on button press, you can see I am just calling the show interstitial ad method. Okay, so this has been completed, this has been completed, this has been okay. Next, you have to go to your editor, go to editor settings, and here you can just search for Android. Make sure you add the debug key path for macOS. It would be something like on this path, as well as also specify the Android HDK path as well. And if you want, you can use Wi-Fi for remote debugging as well. So yeah, I think that should be it. Pretty simple to show interstitial ad. So to get the production ad units for your Android app, what you will have to do is that you will have to go to Google AdMob. You will have to sign up, and then you will have to click on apps, add an app. Now I will add it for Android. now this depends on you whether your app is already deployed to Play Store or not. So I will just select no. I will click on continue. Here I can give my app some name, so I will just give it as first app. Okay, next I will click on add app, and here you can see, so you will have to create ad units as well as test SDK integration. Firstly, one thing which I want to tell to you guys is that once you have deployed your app to Play Store, you will have to link your app back again inside AdMob. So there will be an option to link your ad once it is deployed to Play Store, but here I don't have any production app, so I will just wait for it. So I won't link it, and also it requires a review. So once you have created an ad like an app inside AdMob, you might have to wait for some period of time. It won't be available to you immediately, but I will show you how to create an ad unit. So I will just click Interstitial Ad as well. Just click on add unit, select, give some name. So I will just say first, only if I can type in first app interstitial, and I will just click on create ad unit, and here again you will have to copy this for your interstitial ad. So yeah, that's it for Android, but do make sure you are properly linking your app once you have deployed it to Google Play Store as well as to the App Store. So I think there might be some option, like I'm not really sure where. Ad units, maybe in app settings, I guess. So here you can see App Store details. So if I click on add, here you will have to search your app by your URL or package name, and then you can link your app with your like Google Play Store app with your this app which you have created on AdMob. So yeah, that's it for Android.